Hello and welcome to the Rugby League Pom-Cast. Yes, it's the Rugby League Pom-Cast because we're back. I'm not here with Andy, I'm back again with Sam, all the way up in Brisbane, and I'm in different room, different attire because I'm down in Melbourne today. It's Rugby League Pom-Cast on tour. How are we doing, Sam?
Oh, hello, glue sniffers. I'm good. How are you all?
Is that what Melbourners are known as?
No. I'm just. When I was in Melbourne 2 weeks ago,
Why
obviously
were you
for
in
Oasis,
Melbourne, Sam?
and that was
Was
the
it
best
because
part
of
of it.
this?
That was the best part. Yeah, exactly. Best part of the concert was before. I think it was before cigarettes and alcohol. No, it was early on in the show, and he just said he dedicated a song to all the glue sniffers in Melbourne. So,
Did he?
yeah. So, yeah, they're all glue sniffers now.
Classic Liam fashion right there. How good was it, man? So
So
this is
good.
the reason we're recording this so late after the Ashes test is because my voice has been, as the Australians would say, hooked after
Yeah,
two nights of Oasis.
I've been recovering too. I had a big weekend a couple of weekends ago, and then like flew back and was straight at work, and then yeah, it's been a battle, but it was so worth it. Worth every single dollar that I spent on it.
Mate, I'm so glad I decided last minute to get them cheap seats right at the back on the Friday because both nights they just seem to get better, and like the banter with the crowd both nights was different with it as well. One
Hmm.
guy on the Saturday got he must have had an absolute skinful because he collapsed at the front row and they lifted him up over the barriers, and like security's trying to carry him, and he's a big fella as well, like just can't stand up. And then next thing, they get this trolley out and they just stick him on a trolley and wheel him out. Meanwhile, I think they're doing Slide Away when
Yeah,
he's
quite
doing it,
literally.
and they're right at the end. Like Liam's like, "Did anyone see that fella get carted off on that trolley? How mad's that?"
You didn't
Fucking,
have
he's
people
had a
throwing
great night.
flares. You didn't have people
Oh
throwing
yeah,
flares. That was insane. That was like
was
20
you
meters
that
from
night?
me. Yeah, that was 20 meters from me during Champagne Supernova. And then,
Jeez,
like, Liam was like, naughty, naughty. And then I look at Twitter the next day and he's gone on this massive rant about it. It was, yeah, it was just
yeah,
so good. And, like, just the whole atmosphere in Melbourne that weekend, like, the whole time I was down there, everyone was just happy. It's like,
yeah.
because everyone's there for the same reason. There was no
Same in
arguing or,
Sydney.
yeah. I think the only thing that got close to an argument was where he gets everyone at the start of cigarettes and alcohol to turn around and do the Poznan.
To the Portsmouth.
And yeah, and then somebody threw a beer, but they didn't really throw it so it would spill. They just threw it, and it was like a full cup circling down like that, still standing up, landed on someone's head, and piss just went everywhere. But
Yeah. Was
other
it
than
was it
that,
beer or was it piss? That's the question.
it
And
well, it was
it's always best
my
not to answer that question.
my cups were very nearly piss because I was not leaving that floor, and I'm like. Every now and then, you just got that like twang of like you need to go to the toilet, mate.
Literally, it's just like that. When you're at a concert like that and there's that many people, you just go, listen, just it's easier in my head if I say it's beer.
Moving around was in like moving around. I've never seen something so full. Like you just couldn't move anywhere.
Man,
It
I wish I
was
was in the mixer for it. That was my only issue. Was that so? Everyone just seemed to like because I was up in the standing section, sitting sections both nights. Everyone seemed to like congregate down on the steps, and then security were like,
yeah,
"No, can't go on the steps." So everyone was
yeah.
like, "Right, well, what do we do?" So everyone just sort of piled into one section that was all like, "Right, we're just going to stand up," because Sydney crowds, man. I tell you what, there's something wrong because I've been to the NRL in Sydney, I've been
Mm.
to concerts in Sydney, I've been to frigging football in Sydney. You Australians, I don't know if it's Australians or Sydney siders, they are the most boring people in the world when it comes to live events.
Brisbane's a bit like that as well. Like
I just
Brisbane,
think it's
I remember.
Australians.
I remember going to see Arctic Monkeys, and like Alex Turner, it was like 3 songs in, and played 3 bangers to start off, and he walks up at the end of the third or fourth song, and was like, "Oh, Brisbane, the party atmosphere we've come to love," because no one was moving. Like everyone was just standing there, either recording or waiting for "Do I Want to Know" to come on.
It's like, come on.
Just, yeah,
Just get
but
in the
I
mixer, man. Enjoy it.
Melbourne night one. I don't know what it was like up in the stands, but Melbourne night one down on the floor was awesome.
Oh, Sydney down on the floor looked absolutely sensational. That first tier looked sensational. The second and third tiers, man, I've never seen so much
Yeah, that's all the grumpy
boring
old people.
people. But like, but it wasn't though. There was a lot of young people. I got tapped on the first night. I got tapped on the shoulder by a lad who was same age as me, there with his girlfriend, and said, "Mate, can you sit down, please?"
Yeah, but you're a
I told
pisshead,
him.
so you're probably
I
carrying
was
on.
sober on the
You're
first
probably
night.
carrying
I was
on.
stone cold sober. I just went, "Piss off." I just like, get stuff, mate. Honest to God, man, absolute boring. So I wouldn't mind though. It was like where I was stood. There was like a disabled bit, so I just stood in the disabled bit. So we had loads of room to see
You
behind
shouldn't.
me.
You shouldn't admit that. You shouldn't
Well,
admit
it was $100 tickets.
that.
It's not my fault that there was a bloody disabled bit. It's all right. I passed for it.
Oh no! As long as you didn't kick anyone out. It's like-
No, 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 no. I mean, it didn't say disabled on the ticket. It just said general admissions
Okay.
sitting. So sorted. Anyway, that's the Oasis bit out of the way. We've actually got rugby league to talk about, surprisingly.
yeah.
But yeah, we've
What?
got quite a bit of. So on the agenda tonight, we've got the Pacific Champs that we're going to finish on. We've got the Ashes that I'm going to go on a rant on about, including your side as an Australian. That I think I know what way you're going to go. And of course, we've got. Let's start off with the biggest news. R360 are very confident they have secured Payne Haas for, I believe, the reported fee was $2 million US
Yeah. So 3 million Australian a year,
for three
which
months'
is
work.
which pretty
A million
much
a month.
I think they're going to play like 12 games a year. It like in the way that R360 has been proposed to be set up. So
It's like
it's
300
pretty
Aussie
de-
a game, pretty
it's
much.
decent coin. It's decent coin. Like that's what Lewis Hamilton gets paid to drive 20 times a year.
Yeah.
Like no,
Wow.
less than that, but like it's that sort of money. That's what Lance Stroll gets paid to drive. But like it's a lot of money, and I think a lot of people are very like tentative to really predict what's going to happen with R360 because it could the money behind it could be enough to make it work. Like crowds aren't going to show up. No one's going to care what happens there, but it's like it could end up being a little bit like Live Golf where like it's just like party time in the stands and they'd have all these activations and I'm sure they'll have big name artists that go and perform and stuff pre-match or half-time or whatever it might be and turn it into like a mini
Super
magic
Bowl
round
of
around the
rugby.
place. Yeah, turn it into like a mini like Super Bowl magic round sort of hybrid, like have activations going. Like it could work as it's not going to have the tribalism, which is why we love rugby league because no one is going like no one's
No.
going to go for like the Dubai Super Sixes in a random rugby comp when you've got like one big name there and then the rest of them are just like second or third grade rugby players
Yeah.
that have put their hand up. But the money that's being offered, if you're Payne Haas, and I think a lot of people with Payne Haas have got to remember his family situation. His dad's in prison in the Philippines or Indonesia. His mum is facing a massive prison sentence here in Queensland. He's looking after his younger siblings. He's also got his own family, like own immediate
Yeah.
family to worry about. And yeah, he's going to make big money in the NRL. But, I mean, he's won a premiership now. He's won Origin Series. He's played international football. And
He's played for Samoa now. He's ticked that off his list.
Yeah, and it's really for him, it's like, what are your priorities? Are your priorities to have a great legacy in rugby league? Because he doesn't owe that to anybody. A lot of people keep bringing up, and like I know Dave Donaghy and Carl Morris from the Broncos have said for him to think about his legacy, but he doesn't owe that to anyone. His legacy can be whatever he wants it to be. He's that good. If he wants it to be being one of the greatest front rowers or probably the best front rower that's ever played the game, then he'll stay in rugby league. But if he wants to make the money to support his family long term, then absolutely go to R360. But the issue with R360 is the NRL have decided to play God and put these 10-year bans in place for
Yeah.
anyone that negotiates. So the mail that's going around is that Payne Haas, before those bans came into play, had been in like his management had been in really good negotiations with R360, and things were progressing there. That was obviously put on ice for the Samoa representation in the Pacific Championships and winning a grand final, obviously, for the Broncos. But in the next couple of weeks, R360 are going to put out a list of players, their first list of players. There's going to be a lot of South African rugby players on there, probably a lot of English rugby players on there, but what they're saying, and really the only people that know are those that are making that list and Payne Haas himself. They're pretty confident that Payne Haas is going to be on that list. And if he is, that means we won't see him in the NRL next year. And it's...
Or the foreseeable.
Ever again. Like, he's contracted to the Broncos next year, but if he's on that list that comes out, it's supposed to come out in the next couple of weeks, he won't play NRL again. He won't walk onto an NRL field again. Because that ban will come, and the NRL have already said that ban's going to come down. And this is... With the bans, this was always going to happen. And this is what the Players Association said to me, was that this is going to get tested in a court at some stage, because it's a restraint of trade to tell them that they can't go and negotiate for a contract. Like not even just signing on, you can't negotiate for a contract. So the Broncos would be well within their rights to take the NRL to court and have some sort of arbitration over,
as would Payne,
over that situation about like, well, Payne has signed this contract for us for this year, and then he signed a contract for R360 beyond that. What you guys do with him beyond that, and whether you ban him beyond that, totally up to you. But he's got a contract for this year. He's got a contract. Like, that's the situation where it's going to become a real court argument over restraint of trade. And I don't know if, like, I got asked this today. Like, someone just came up to me and was like, a Broncos fan at work was like, is Payne Haas going to leave? And I'm sort of like, my gut says no, that he won't, because he could make... I mean, he can make half the money that he's going to make in R360 in the NRL, but that's still
with
$1.5 million. Yeah, with tax, but that's still $1.5 million that you get at the end of the day, and throw in your origin allowances and brand deals that he could do in Australia, because every brand wants a piece of him. Yeah. So, my gut says no, but my head is sort of like... I can see it. I can see him going there for 2 years and then playing for the Wallabies. I can envision it. So I'm very torn on whether or not it's going to happen. But
depends
it's an interesting
on
one to watch it play out.
Depends on the whole situation with the international ban as well in rugby union that they've sanctioned. That we're not picking any players for R360. But also, like,
Rugby Australia have not. Thing. Yeah.
But like, he's got to live outside of the country for over 180 days.
6 months in. I think it's 6 months in Dubai, or like in the Emirates. Yeah, you have to live
anywhere. Yeah, but he's got to live outside of Australia for it to be tax free. So if he lived in Australia for more than that, he'd still have to pay tax on his income.
So the way that works is, if he's all of the money that gets paid to players from that money pool that they've got, they get paid by a company that operates out of the United Arab Emirates. Yeah. So all he'd need to do is live in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or anywhere in the Emirates for 6 months, so that he can get, I think it's a working visa. It's some sort of visa situation, or a temporary citizen, so that then they can pay him tax free.
Yeah, exactly. But
no matter
if he
where he plays in the world, like, he still needs to go overseas.
But if he does,
that's the thing where I'm like, I don't see him doing
without
that
his family.
because he's got such strong family ties. That to me is the kicker.
It's a huge commitment. Commitment. So that's like 185 days he's got to live effectively in the UAE. Yeah. Near enough. Which is whether he'd want to do that, can do that. Yeah. Like, it's a huge ask for any player, and that's where... Don't get me wrong, the money's great, but yeah.
Like Ryan Pappenhausen,
who's not got kids.
Ryan Pappenhausen doesn't have kids. He's got a young... I think he's actually single, Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah, I think he is single.
The latest. So, he doesn't have much to lose going to live in the Emirates for that period, whereas Payne Haas does, which is why honestly I don't think Payne Haas will be on that list of players, but by the same token, it wouldn't be a massive shock to me if he was.
No, and I don't think that 10-year ban will stand up anyway. I think we'd see him back in the NRL within 3 years anyway.
Yeah. Well, if
I just
R360
can't see it legally happening.
Yeah, well, the NRL left like a lot of wiggle room in that ban when they put out that statement, because they said the NRL holds final discretion or something along those lines.
Yeah, are they gonna if Payne Haas goes, look, it's context up, can I come back? They're not going to say no.
Yeah, yeah, and if they say no, then they're doing the one thing that they feared, which is their best players going to
losing the best. Yeah, losing the best players,
because Payne Haas, because Rugby Australia by that point would have just had a World Cup where they've got this massive capital gain where they can go, you know what, we can afford to pay Payne Haas $2 million, and they might.
Yeah, and then he's got that option. So
because they've done that with and Joseph Swaley will be off contract by then. Do they want to hold on to him? Like, his results in rugby have been pretty mixed, and he might want to come back to the Roosters. Like, that was always a possibility when he left, that he'd play the World Cup for the Wallabies and then come back to the Roosters. So they might also have that money. And if Payne Haas is still banned from the NRL, then he's going to have to look elsewhere, and rugby would be very silly not to throw good money at him. So I don't see it, like, that ban is a whole different argument. I know we did a big podcast about that, but that sort of thing is not going to hold up.
No, exactly. And well, you mentioned two things there. Well, you mentioned the whole Sydney Roosters. They've of course confirmed Daly Cherry Evans now on a 12-month deal. You as a Roosters fan, you happy about that?
Nah. Stupid.
I'm trying to get you into a rant before my rant.
Like, they've already lost Sandon Smith, and then you uncover this gem of a player who complements Sam Walker so beautifully in Hugo Savala, because, like, you've got Sam Walker who can be your creative player. Hugo Savala's strong defensively and can do your long kicking, which is something that the Roosters have struggled with since Cooper Cronk retired, is having a good last tackle kicking option. And they're like, nah, you know what? We're going to put the future of him staying at the club in jeopardy to sign a 36-year-old who, let's be honest, played pretty ordinary football last year.
As a stopgap.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, like, have they not learnt from, like, Cooper Cronk won.
They've already lost one halfback, one good young halfback
in Sandon Smith. Yeah, and it's like, and Sam Walker's always linked to the Broncos, and Sam Walker's already had issues with the Roosters trying to change the way he plays, and he's already had frustrations with the Roosters. If he has to change the way he plays to complement Daly Cherry Evans, because that's going to be the pecking order at the end of the day. Like, it's going to be Daly Cherry. It's going to be Daly Cherry Evans' team. Like, they also have created a risk of making Sam Walker frustrated too. And it's like, Cooper Cronk won the Roosters 2 premierships, right? But there was no succession plan for after him. Because the year after that, you still had Luke Keary there, but the guy they brought in was Kyle Flanagan, who'd played like 4 games for the Sharks.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of him halfway through the year. And then it was like, right, we're just going to throw 18-year-old Sam Walker into the mix now and see how he goes. And they got lucky with him because he hadn't fully developed yet. And we've seen that because he's been dropped before. He's had injuries. He's had his issues with kicking and his ball handling and whatnot. Like, at the moment...
Which you always get in a young half.
Exactly. But they had no succession plan for after Cooper Cronk. And I worry that they're going to have no succession plan for after Daly Cherry Evans. It could be a masterstroke. It could, like, Hugo Savala could be happy to play a year under Cherry Evans.
Still only 23,
and play lock or whatever it might be. And it could develop them better, but it could also backfire massively. And I just, it's just a surplus to requirements. Like, you've just signed Reece Robson, who's going to complement those two, Hugo Savala and Sam Walker, with his passing game. And the Roosters, it felt like, are in a really good spot. Sam Walker, very, like, the football he was playing towards the end of the season, the Roosters were dangerous, and they fell short against the Sharks, obviously, in the first week of finals. And Hugo Savala had been such a consistent performer as well, and you're just going to tear all that up for a 36-year-old that was dropped that became the first Queensland captain to get dropped. Like,
Yeah,
I
as a Hail Mary.
It doesn't make sense.
You're throwing your hands
to
up
me.
in the air. It's a literal Hail Mary from them. It just feels like they've gone bust for 12 months.
Threw my hat.
Throw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah.
congratulations to Daly Cherry Evans. I'm happy we get to see him play on.
Another $1 million player at the Roosters.
Yeah. Apparently, he's taken a big pay cut
Well, yeah, classic Roosters.
on the salary
big pay
cap.
cut. On the salary cap, yeah. Bet you any money financially he's not taking a big pay cut.
He'll have a $400,000 boat.
An apartment that's paid for rent free and right on Bondi Beach, and a car. He'll basically get the Super League package, is what we'll call it.
Yeah,
where they get everything for free.
He'll take Luke Keary's job as like a development coach.
Oh yeah, of course, because he's not accepted that offer, has he? At the Knights.
No.
Did he accept one at the Roosters?
I think he's
gonna stay there.
He said he's gonna be doing like a like development sort of coaching role, like not really.
Yeah, because Holbrook wanted him to be a attacking advisor, didn't he? Because Holbrook's going to be the attacking coach.
Holbrook wanted him to be an assistant coach. Holbrook wanted
that's
him
what I mean, like the attacking assistant coach. So that's what I meant by attacking advisor, which would have been a good career move for him, I think. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I sod Luke Keary. You slagged off Super League too much.
While I'm ranting about the Roosters,
go on.
Can I just
take it away?
Can I just mention the absolute shitstorm they've created for themselves with Victor Radley? Do you remember?
Yeah. Don't get me started on this. I was going to add this to my Ashes rank. What the fuck is that about? There's no other words to say. They made him with. I'm not having this bollocks that Victor Radley withdrew for personal reasons from the Ashes. They made him leave and say, "Look, we'll give you a 10-game ban, but we'll count your Ashes games to it if you pull out." What knobhead! 100% they did.
Yeah.
I don't care if they come after me or whatever. I'm not having that Victor Radley pulled out of that for personal reasons with a lot going on, and it wasn't any way influenced by this decision right now.
Yeah. Why do you think we're hearing about it now that the Ashes series is over?
Now it's over. As soon as Game 3 is over, they're going to count towards it though. So are the two preseason games because they mean so much to him. It's like, so what? So the Nick Politis.
So the $100,000 that he's supposed to miss out on is going to be
all this because they bought the bloody Caxton pub.
Yeah, it's like he's supposed to be missing out on $100,000 pay, Victor Radley, from the 10-game suspension, right? But instead it's 2 preseason games which they don't get paid for, and then the 3 Ashes tests, which I think the English got paid $3,000 for each, per game.
Not even that. I don't think. I think it's $3,000. It was £500 a game.
Yeah. So the Roosters.
So he's missed out on about $50,000 maybe.
So the Roosters have gained a lot of people's respect by putting one of the biggest bans in place for a player doing something stupid, and then gone
but lost a lot.
And then gone, actually, you know what? You can play 4 weeks earlier than you were supposed to.
Because you're not saying to me that England team, because while we're talking about it and going on to the Ashes, that have just been whitewashed 3-0, that have lost 70 points to, was it 14 on aggregate? No, 6, 18. So 70 points to 18 on aggregate, right, with only 2 tries scored, wouldn't be a better team with Victor Radley in it.
Yeah. Whether he plays lock or
second row,
or replaces your mate Callum Watkins.
Oh, fuck it! Don't get me started on this. So you're saying, honest to God, the fact that it's been released just after the Ashes is so evidential. It's all the evidence you need that has influenced that decision. Yep. Or the Roosters have just said to him, "Look, you're not playing in the Ashes."
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah, the Roosters have said, look, you're not going over to England, you're not playing in the Ashes, because you'll get on the drink, and this, that, and the other as well while you're over there. We don't need any more bad publicity. But we'll also count that towards your games as well. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Honest to God,
So it's like punish them, but just like hand down the punishment, but then be like, actually, you know what? You've been a really good boy for the last couple of weeks, so we're going to pull some of that punishment back.
despite the fact that that was always the intention, I reckon.
Yeah.
So it's just really annoying me. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. And you know what? If they're angry, they'll come at me, but they won't be because they know that's what's happened. So anyway,
truth defense. Truth defense.
Truth defense, exactly. And circumstantial evidence, we can put it forward. Right, but anyway, this Ashes test, I said it when the squads were announced and we did the podcast on it. It was going to be 3-0 when that squad was announced, that 24-man squad from England. It was too weak in the second rows. Obviously, not having Victor Radley. I said not picking Billy Smith was absolutely suicidal. And it's proven to be because Jake Wardle playing on the left centre, although he didn't do too bad, it forced Herbie Farnworth to play on his weaker right-hand side. And you've got the best left centre in the world, right? And you move him out of position to accommodate Jake Wardle when you could have just had Billy Smith playing centre.
And a bloke that could have shut down Katoni Staggs and Reece Walsh on that side. That they did all that damage.
And someone that knows the game of them, and then had Herbie on the left. And you'd have had one of the best attacking left centres against Shibasaki against Staggs, who defensively is, here and there. It's just absolutely stupid. Everything about Sean Wayne's team I slagged off, and it has proven to be right. We were too weak in the second row. The fact that he didn't pick Morgan Smithies in the first game was absolutely ridiculous. And in the second and third game, he played really, really well. The best we played was the second game and the third game. But the second game, we didn't play for 20 minutes of that. That was 10 minutes just after half time in both game one and game two. We came out of them two games right after half time and were absolutely shocking, and they conceded 2 tries straight away, and that was it. It was game over. I was as an England fan just saying, it's game over. It's pointless. It's pointless watching any more of it. You can't let Australia score 2 piss easy tries. You can't.
Yeah, like that Munster one, probably an obstruction to be fair, but in the second game, you've got to
be stronger there though.
That's the difference.
You've got to be stronger.
That's the difference between English and Australian rugby league at the moment. To be honest,
he carved through George Williams. Carved through him.
Yeah,
and
that's the guy that's played in the grand final.
And AJ Brimson had a chance to finish the tackle off and misses. And he is an NRL player and a good one at that, who would have probably been in the outer frame of the Queensland squad this year. And it's just, I was just there going but the amount of talent that we left out, I still don't get the Billy Smith one. For me, it has to be that the BBC said that someone was on commentated. I'm so angry that he is not made that team, because if you're an Australian, right, and let's face it, he's more likely in contention for a Blues shirt at centre. I know they had Trell and they had other players, but one injury, he'd probably be the next one up, you'd assume.
Yeah,
he'd
be pretty close. Yeah, he'd be
close to. He'd be third or fourth choice.
If he's fit, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's actively gone, you know what, I want to represent my mum and dad. I want to go and play for England. I'm going to give up on that Blues jersey and go for it. And your coach has decided not to pick him because I reckon Sean Wayne doesn't want to pick too many NRL players.
Yeah. Also, the stupidity, your argument about Max King as well.
Exactly.
You've got
you don't pick there that wants to play.
So you don't pick Billy Smith for some reason when he's given up a genuine crack at probably playing Origin at some point in the next couple of years to play for England, and then you've also got an Origin player who wanted to play and wanted to walk away from Origin, who also doesn't get picked.
Literally.
Over a stupid reason.
All you do is you alienate players then. So they'll go, well, alright then, I'm not playing for England then.
Yeah.
It's a sign from God in Max King's case. It's not just Sean Wayne being an idiot. Um,
Sean Wade's not God.
that's what it is. That's what it is in my view. Because how can you leave these players out that are elite standard? That you know what? Have you ever seen Blake Austin's interview on James Graham
Yeah.
on the bar round, and they go like, "You choosing to pick for Great Britain? Why?" And he went, "Well, it's for me nan, who she was really a real inspiration for me, and I wanted to represent her." And he went, "There's no doubt that you, Jimmy, care more about playing for England than me. There is no doubt about that. But that doesn't mean I don't care about that Great Britain jersey." And it will be the same for AJ Brimson, whose mum's from down Plymouth ways, I believe.
Yeah.
It will be the same for Max King, who was born in Leeds, whose mum's from Dewsbury. It will be the same for Billy Smith, who I believe both parents are English. Yes, they may well do. Obviously, different players are different with the likes of Campbell from Bunnies, whose mum's Scottish and dad's English,
Campbell Graham.
and he's like Campbell Graham. Sorry, yeah. And he was like, "Well, look, I'm Australian through and through. I don't want to represent anyone else."
Well, he's
That's
already
fair.
played
They
for
can also
Australia.
have that.
Yeah.
But these players have actively gone, "I want to play for England. I want to give up on this dream to play State of Origin." It's like Sam Walker, for example. If Sam Walker went, "You know what? I'm going to give up on go play for Queensland. I want to play for England for my mum and where I'm born."
Yeah.
Like, would he pass up that opportunity? England are crying out for a seven. And if Sam Walker went, "Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give up on that," I reckon Sean Wayne would probably go, "Nah, you're all right, mate."
Yeah, Harry Smith's better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the issue. And I think that until we get away from a coach that will do that, there's no doubt in my mind that the reason.
Just the stubbornness of not picking Max King over the anthem thing, like that says all that. And then you look at everything that happened
which was reported by a couple of journalists over here.
and then you look at it. You look at everything that happened in the series with the refusal to pick Billy Smith and the likes. Like, it's a stubborn coach. It's almost an ego thing.
It is an ego thing, and it's a case of no. We want to show these that Super League is a good standard. Like, yes, it is a good standard. However, if you've got players that are the best in the world wanting to play for you, it doesn't matter where they are. Could you imagine if Samoa did that? Do you reckon it's kind of in his head going, "No, we're England. We're a tier one nation. We're a tier one nation. We have to give our own a shot."
See, Samoa, I think, and Tonga, and the Pacific nations have done the exact opposite in giving players. And I get that they've got the luxury of being a tier 2 nation, so when players change their eligibility to play for them, it doesn't affect their origin eligibility. But if players are willing to put their hand up to play for England, then you should pick them, because that's what Samoa and Tonga have done, and it's encouraging more players to go.
Yes, and also then they're giving up more to play for England.
Yeah,
they're giving up more. They're giving up the chance to play State of Origin. They're giving up that, which over here in Australia is the goal, which means that they're putting England first. It doesn't matter if they go and speak with a funny accent on the pitch. Is he
scared they're not going to be able to understand them?
Maybe it's a slang thing or certain phrases. But if
Reform UK.
So maybe that's it. He's literally the Sam Allardyce of rugby league. 4-4-2. But
God.
what was I gonna say? But like what was I gonna say? But yeah, obviously they're giving a lot of stuff up and all that. But like, is there any reason that 2017, right, we got to a World Cup final, our best performance in a World Cup, we were an ankle tap away from winning the grand final, right? Effectively, for the World Cup final in 2017. Wayne Bennett was the coach, and he happily picked the better players that played in the NRL. The likes of Chris McQueen, I believe, was the Kobe Hetherington. Was he in the squad?
Yeah.
And the likes of them, there was I think there was like 4 or 5 Australians he picked that had English heritage. I know
Yeah.
Chris McQueen was. I think was it Heitington or Hetherington?
I don't think Kobe. It might have been Jack Hetherington.
It might have been him because he'd already played for
Yeah.
England at the point. Because I think he played in
Yeah.
2011 in a Tri Nations maybe. But like there was like that experience of playing at the elite level, of playing state of origin games, and going right, we're going to throw you in because they
Yeah.
wanted to play for England again. Granted, they were at the end of their careers, but you've got players in the prime career wanting to
Yeah.
play for England, and you're
Yeah.
not doing it. It's stubbornness. It's a case of going, no, we want to beat the Australians the English way, but yet we don't go and have any preparation really. We had one
Yeah.
mid-season meeting, training camp, which was basically all the Super League players. So none of the NRL players involved. I don't even know if they were even invited on Zoom. Like
Yeah.
in the age of technology, if you're just having meetings, you can happily go, right, guys over in the NRL, tune in for 2 hours between this and this. We're going to go through and we're going to meet and we're going to discuss how we want to go as a team, how we want to do this, that, and the other, and our plans for the future. Like you're not saying to me you can't do that. We've done this podcast for what, 2 years? Where I've been in England, I've
Yeah.
been in Sydney, I've been now in Melbourne, doing it. I think we did one when I was abroad in Thailand or something. Like,
Yeah. We did one from Thailand. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like, it's just it's mental.
It's
that,
not. It's
that,
not an
that-
excuse anymore.
no, and also they moan about like how this series went. We lost 3-0. What do you expect when you don't play games?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Sean Wayne gets a full-time wage, for effectively 3 games a year. Last year he only played 2, plus a game in
Yeah.
France.
Yeah.
So 3 games. So
So
how are
gets
you
the
meant
full-time
to
wage to?
do prep?
It's a waste
Whereas,
of RFL resources as well. Like the RFL have got to be
absolutely.
looking at the remuneration for him and going, right, are we getting bang for buck? Because he's doing this many games, he's got an entire Super League season and NRL season to watch and prepare and plan for this Ashes series, which is 3 games, and that's what we're paying him for. And
We're
to
doing
screw it
another
up this
review.
badly, and to screw it up this
How,
badly,
how many reviews does English Rugby League have to have? Having another one.
yeah,
Another review.
yeah,
It's a case of, guys, how can you not see what's walking down a corridor? Like, there's
yeah,
a straight corridor, and you can see what is going to happen. Every fan could see it when that squad was picked,
and they're still
that it
running
was
to
going to be
walls on each
3-1,
side of the
3-0.
corridor.
And it's like, we're still going, I wonder what that dark shadow is at the corner. It's not a dark shadow, it's lit up in bright lights. And it's a case of, we're now going into a World Cup year, right, with it, uh, the performances had a lot of fight, yes, but also there were times and lapses where there wasn't fight, and also you can't just
Yeah,
win games on fight alone. Like
yeah,
you've got to have ability and you've got to match on ability. We didn't make one line break, I don't think, in the last 2 games. We didn't create an overlap all
yeah.
friggin' all series. In 3 games, you can't make one overlap. There's just no attacking cohesion. And that is where it's just been so, like, I
Frustrating.
just don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a
And then
case of
on
where
the
do we go now?
and then on the other end of the spectrum, I'm watching that series. Like, I stayed up to watch the first game, and
Yeah.
pretty much since that first half, like I was excited for it, and then pretty much since that first half, I was going, eh, it
Well,
just
you guys made it 8-0 with that penalty goal.
yeah,
And I'm just like, I was just sat there going, right, well, we're not going to score 2 tries here.
yeah,
And my mate summed it up. It was like, every time England got a ball, he was like, oh, we could score here. Or we might score here. Whereas when Australia, it was
yeah,
a case of, when will they score? Like,
yeah.
it was like, there was just no sort of
And
attacking
Australia
flair,
weren't
there was
good.
no movement.
Australia didn't play any good.
No.
Like Australia, they
They
didn't
didn't
click.
have to, though.
Cleary and Munster and Walsh didn't click in attack. Like it was
No.
very clunky. It was just and like it was an opportunity for England to really put them under pressure, and there was just no sense of that at all.
No, and that was the issue really. And it's just a case of, as an England fan, it makes me really frustrated. Going into a World Cup year, it's a case of what do we do? Because going off that performance, Samoa will batter us, New Zealand have battered us,
Tonga.
Australia have battered us. Tonga, going off this series Pacific Championships, I think we'd probably edge them.
I think Tonga's ceiling is higher than the English ceiling at the moment. To be brutally honest.
Yeah, I'll take that. It all depends on who we pick. Because we've got players available, like we just said, that could make that side better. But it's a case of, will this coach pick them? I don't think so. I think, and I called it after the last World Cup, that we should have got a new coach then, with some of the decisions he made in that Samoa semi-final with substitutes. In a case of bringing Mickey McAloran back on, who had a stinker, and subbing off other players. Like, it was a case of, I called for it then that we needed a new coach, and he won the 2 series, Samoa and Tonga, easily. However, Samoa brought half a squad because half of them were at Stephen Crichton's wedding. They delayed it a couple of weeks and reduced it to 2 games, so that series was really just it wasn't really a proper series, I'd say. Yeah. So now we go into it going, well, it's 1 year away. Do we pull the trigger? Does the RFL have enough money to pay him off? Who do we get in if we do? For me, you've got to go for an Australian coach. You've got to go for an Australian coach who knows Super League. So whether you go to Willie Peters and you go, look, Willie, I know you've been assistant for Australia. Do you want to be the head coach of England? Who's based in England in the Super League? Do you go to Michael Maguire, who's won a Super League, and go, would you be interested in a part-time role? Because if they're part-time roles, they don't have to pay him as much as well. So you'd save money there. Do you go to Justin Holbrook and go, listen, I know you've only just started off there. You've got experience in the coaching game of an international side. You've been assistant coach for PNG with Jason Demetriou.
Yeah.
Like, do you want a head coach role with England? Do you like, where do you go? Do you go to Paul Rowley, who's English, who's got an attacking flair, and go, look, Paul, do you want to take on a second job? I know you just started with St Helens, but do you want an England job as well? Like, having someone there that's part-time. Because we've got a full-time coach now, and we're not any closer to beating Australia.
Yeah.
And when we had a part-time coach, we nearly beat them. So, why not do that and go for a better coach? Yeah, Maguire's been floated. I'd take him.
Yeah.
Willie Peters, I think, is one of the best coaches right now at the minute around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could see by how Australia handled Mickey Lewis whenever he played, how much that his coaching and his defensive coaching is unreal. Willie Peters.
Yeah.
Wasn't Willie Peters at Penrith?
No, but he was
in the Jersey Flegg.
Shit, he might have been.
When they won it,
like he's had different roles. Like he's had different.
He's had all sorts of assistant and junior coaching over here. I'm certain he was at Penrith's Jersey Flegg when they won it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But regardless,
see, really, we should do research before the.
Nah, fuck that. Why would you do that? It's great when you have to look things up.
Exactly. So, but anyway, I just don't know where England go, and that's the issue.
Only way's up.
Exactly.
Only way.
I know he's obviously played over here as well when he was here. It doesn't actually say on his Wikipedia. Who knows then? We'll look it up. But yeah, I don't know. As an Australian, what was it like watching it? I know you said you got bored after the first game.
Yeah, it was.
Did you even watch the second game? You would have been at Oasis, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I watched. They were a KO mini job, really, and like that sort of tells you all you need to know. Like the sets where the line is being attacked, they're like
just
Australia defended. Australia defended really well, or was it just no penetration in attack?
It was easy reads though.
Yeah,
because they never took the line.
and Australia get the ball, and even though they weren't quite clicking, and even though they didn't look great in attack, you're still sort of going, they'll break eventually. Like England just falling off tackles, and and like being out muscled as well.
Yeah.
I think for a team like
A lot of it.
England, where that was your chance, that was your opportunity, basically to.
I actually think the pack matched up in the second two games. Even though the third game, we had our biggest margin of loss. I think it was more the points came late on, whereas I think our pack actually married up quite well eventually. Like the first game, he didn't get the pack right at all. Whereas I think the second and the third test, we did sort of do that, but then that's where they sort of beat us, as they always do in the halves. Like, even though you said, like, Munster and that Cleary wasn't clicking with Munster, Munster was having a stormer all series and deserves player of the series. Reece Walsh in 2 games out of the 3 was unplayable. And then you had, obviously, Harry Grant got a lot of stick over here for his performance because he didn't really quite do much. But yeah, I was surprised in that third test they didn't rest players. I know they had that meeting where they said, look, the test jersey means a lot, and it's time we put respect on a test jersey. I think the players absolutely respect the test jersey, but I think a lot of the media nowadays don't over in Australia.
I also just don't think I don't think series like that against England, where there was never really any challenge help either.
No, exactly. And like I really thought they'd have made the likes of Ethan Strange just so he couldn't play for England. That's what I think. I feel like they'd have just put him on to make one appearance for Australia and then go.
Yeah,
you
there
can't
was 6
play for
blokes
England
that
in the
got
future now.
There was 6 blokes that got a month-long all expenses paid Euro holiday. Like, that's a dream.
Business class flights.
Yeah, exactly. Why would Ethan Strange want to play for England when he can do that?
Exactly, he can just go see his family in England and have a good time.
Yeah.
Have a few bevies.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with Blake Brayley as well.
I do feel for you guys.
He can go see his English family and then go. Mate, it's like that. Like, if we could, and we could get Blake Brayley, that would sort our 9 situation. But Jez Litton played absolutely superb in both tests. In both tests he started, and the first test where he came off the bench, I thought he was really well. I thought Morgan Knowles held well. I think a lot of Australian press might now finally put a bit of respect on him, especially when he's off to the Dolphins. Matty Lees played well. At prop, he had a lot of not a lot of meters made, but a lot of tackles, a lot of big minutes. Morgan Smithies, superb. Herbie Farnworth, even though he was suffocated on that right edge, was still one of our better players. I'd have loved to have seen him on the left edge, though. Like, I'd have absolutely loved to have seen it. Problem with us was the fullbacks. Wellesby didn't perform game 1, and I don't think AJ Brimson did a superb job game 2. And game 3, obviously, he got injured and Mickey Lewis was playing out of position and kind of just didn't really take the game into effect. And I don't know. I was just disappointed overall with the series. I just hope there's more preparation next year. So and speaking of the World Cup, the 10 teams got named.
Pardon?
The 10 teams got named for the next World Cup at least.
Yeah, no South Africa,
which is the top 8 from the last one. Was it top 8 from the last one, which was England, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, Tonga, Samoa, Tonga, Lebanon, even though they're not a graded official body of the International Rugby League. Who were the other 2? France and PNG. Are they the 8 that were in the last World Cup?
Yes, and then Cook Islands made it.
And is the other one... I feel like it was a...
Hold on, I've got it in front of me.
A thingy.
So Australia will be joined by Samoa, New Zealand, England, Tonga, Papua New Guinea, Fiji and Lebanon.
Fiji, that was
Cook
it,
Islands.
sorry. France would be the other one.
Yeah.
Cook Islands, France, are they the 2 invitees?
Just give me the list. Why can't you just give me the list? Why is nothing easy?
This is for the 2026 Australian World Cup, which I'll be hopefully going to a couple of games of.
Yeah, well, apparently the final's going to be up here in Brisbane, so that's exciting.
Oh, well, that's another weekend away in Brisbane for me.
Lucky you.
That'll
Yeah,
be
so
around my
New Zealand,
birthday as
England.
well, so.
Well, we're going to have to catch up. New Zealand, England, Australia, Fiji, Lebanon, Tonga, Samoa, Papua New Guinea, France, and Cook Islands.
Yeah, so France and Cook Islands are the two invitees.
Yeah.
Invitational.
There's
I'm
no
gutted
one-
Serbia didn't get in.
There's no
Serbia
one.
are like
Yeah,
eighth graded in the world.
yeah. I'm disappointed that we.
And we
don't
could have
get
seen the
to
three
see-
Trebojevich's brothers.
Yeah, I want to see
playing.
Cuba in a World Cup. I miss Jamaica. I want
Cuba.
Jamaica back in the World Cup. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That
was a lot of fun. A lot of
They
well,
were
it's like
shit.
Lebanon
but-
is like just yeah. Lebanon were like Australia's C anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mitch Moses will go back to captaining them.
Well, no, he's probably going to be the halfback for Australia. I would have thought.
Well, depending on Nathan Cleary. Just bring in Ukraine and have the Cleary brothers lead the pack.
Yeah.
Lead them 6 and 7. The Jet and Nathan Cleary. Ukraine would be. That would be cool. See, that's why we need like a European Championships. But like
Are we still
Australia
on this?
can't pick any. Yeah. We still need this heritage thing, but like just Australia and New Zealand and all they are banned from picking players, and it's just a full heritage European European Championship. It'd just be class.
Dear.
But anyway, Pacific Championships happened. New Zealand won yet again, 2 years on the bounce, in a ferocious final game against Samoa.
No, Australia won last year. New Zealand won the year before.
Oh, was it the year before? I thought it was last year.
Yeah,
they
that
won
was No, year before was the big tearing apart, big upset.
Was it?
James Tedesco's last international.
Was it really? I always thought that was last
Yeah.
year because I thought Tino's last game for Australia before the Ashes was losing to New Zealand in the final.
No, it was a the big boil over was year before. That was the first.
Oh, 2023.
That was the first Pacific Championship.
Oh. Well, there you go. So I got that one wrong. But
The more you learn.
yeah, they won. They won against Samoa because obviously Australia weren't there. Samoa battered Tonga when I went to Suncorp, and then Tonga battered Tonga in the game after because the thoughts go to Eli Katoa after
Oh
that.
yeah, that was so grim.
Horror. Someone's got to get the sack for that.
Well, yeah, but I saw today the Katoa family was saying that they don't hold anyone in the Tongan setup responsible for it, and I'm like,
Oh.
I would. I mean,
Yeah, I
there's
would
no
as
way
well.
he should have. There's no way he should have been playing.
Oh, mate, what's Hopewadi doing?
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I mean, but that's just a collision, right? Like,
Yeah. But I don't
think
know.
you hold him responsible for that.
No, but going in like that in a war.
Oh yeah, he went in hard.
That's what I mean. Like, I know it's meant to be somewhat tough, them warm-ups to get them ready for the game, but Jesus. A
Yeah.
full-on jumping
Yeah.
shoulder to the face. I'd be
Yeah.
category 1 if it was in game, though. It was that bad.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. And he went to the ground limp. Like, he fell to the ground limp. I just
Yeah.
don't understand why there was no sort of response to that. It's just like, he's right.
And then,
he
and then he went down in the first half of HIA and passed.
Yeah, it was in the first 10 minutes.
So it's absolutely weird that what happened, but anyway.
Yeah.
Tonga were
I
a real
liked-
disappointment of that series, though.
Yeah, the whole series though was good. Like, there was I just love the passion and
Yeah.
the display of culture that you get to see when you get the
The Port Moresby crowd, for example.
Sipatau and the Sipatau and the Sipataus
Yeah.
and the Haka, and it's just and I mean you get big crowds of the most passionate rugby league fans,
Yeah.
and it shows that it's like, right, this game does have a future internationally. It's not
Oh,
just
mate, the
Australia.
future's bright internationally as long as the NRL buys England.
Yeah,
Like, because I can only see it going strength to strength, and the more unity we have between, like, for example, Lebanon aren't being a internationally recognised rugby league board, so they wouldn't have been picked had the NRL not said,
yeah,
no, they need to be picked. Because they are one of the better nations because they've got so many Australian players in it.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think
Exactly.
95% of the team is Australian.
It's yeah, and like and it again, we're gonna start having these. Like if Samoa had won on Sunday, I know that there would have been so many people that would have gone, you know what, Samoa need to be a tier 1 nation, and then all these players need to be banned from playing in State of
Yeah,
Origin.
but also
It's
it's
like, nah,
not just
it's
based
more than that
on
though, right?
it's not just based on the on-field stuff, it's the off-field stuff. It's the case of what they've got in their countries,
Yes,
you know, and
yes.
all that stuff. It's not just based on, oh well, they did
Which
well and
which
they
is
did
all
well.
bankrolled, which is all bankrolled by the NRL,
Exactly.
who get all their money from State of Origin and like regular season, yes, but like
Hmm.
their biggest revenue getter is State of Origin. So it's like, let's ban these players from playing for Samoa because we have to pay for them with the money that they're giving to us by playing State of Origin. It's like,
Yeah.
sorry,
So it
sorry,
all,
how does that? Sorry, how the fuck does that track?
yeah, yeah. It all comes full circle at the end of the
Yeah,
day, and it's all give and take. You've got to take, you've got to give, and it's a case of they won't be a tier 1 nation anytime soon because of the infrastructure in them countries.
yeah,
But you can argue as much as you want. Oh well, they don't live there. But you know, rugby league and international game in any sport is more than just where you're born.
yeah, yeah,
If it
exactly.
was, if it was,
Yeah,
if it was, then Sam Walker would be playing for England. Max
yeah,
King would be playing for England.
yes,
These players
yeah.
would not be playing for State of Origin. These
It's
players
just
would not be
not
playing.
everything's black and white.
No, and also like you had the likes of when Great Britain was involved. You had the likes of Kieran Cunningham
Yeah,
who represented Wales,
yeah,
who was one of the best nines England's ever produced. Literally got a statue outside St Helens. There are players like that that will happily go for their heritage, where their
yeah,
families are from, and still wear a certain jersey with pride.
yeah.
And this is where we've gone full circle. Congrats to New Zealand. You won the Pacific Championships. It would have been interesting to see. And also now we've got a full international calendar by the looks of it for the next 4 or 5 years because
Which
we've
is
got the
good.
World
Which
Cup
is
next
good because
year.
we're not going to get those like last minute series that get thrown together like what happened with the Ashes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So we've got, if I remember rightly, England's international calendar looks like World Cup 2026 in Australia,
yeah,
then a New Zealand tour 2027, if I remember rightly. Then England go over 2028 to Australia and do a tour, and then 2029 Australia travel back to the UK for an Ashes tour, and the Ashes are going to be every 4 years, and then the World Cup 2030. Is that correct? Have you googled that?
No, but it sounds right.
Oh, I
That's
thought
what
that's what you were
that sounds.
typing.
No, that sounds like what I read. Um,
I can't remember if the tour is 2027 and New Zealand is 2028, or if it's the way I said it, whereas New Zealand's 27 and um, the Australia tour's 28.
all right,
But I think
stand
in
by.
every
Keep padding.
keep packing
Keep,
in any
keep.
major sort of. Is this what you like when you're producing? Do you like do that to the presenter?
Kinda.
Do you like do the
Kind of.
finger roll? Keep going,
I
keep going.
I get an article up and I'm just like I just talk into their ear and then they say what I'm saying into their ear. It's foolproof.
Mate, that must
Okay.
be so difficult as a presenter.
Next
having
Ashes
someone in your
series
ear,
will be.
like having to repeat everything like words.
Oh, it's not that hard.
Does it skill?
It isn't. No, it's not that hard.
My
Yeah,
brain
Ashes in
doesn't
2020.
work.
Ashes in 2028 in Australia.
Yeah, it's not going to be. It's going to be in the UK. It's
Rugby World Cup
2029, isn't
taking
it?
place in Australia and Papua New Guinea. England are going to host New Zealand in a 3-match test series in 2027. And the Ashes will take place in 2028 out here. So that's good.
I
still
don't think that will be. So they're in talks at the minute to have it back in the UK because
I
don't think
I
the
still
crowds
think
will be
that
the
we
same in
need-
England, in Australia.
No, they won't. You need to play them at smaller grounds. I also reckon that we need to play like mid-year tests between like Tonga, Samoa, maybe even England come out like around Origin time and play like maybe a test
3-week
series in that sort of.
series. Yeah, but
Yeah.
for me, England just don't utilize what we've got in Europe well because you've got France there that every game's a whitewash. Yes, we're
Yeah.
too good for them. But you could easily play your up and coming, your England Knights that we used to have. You could easily have them play France while we go over to Australia and
Yeah.
play PNG in Port Moresby while Origin's going on, and then we
Yeah.
can play, I don't know, a sort of exiles game, I suppose, in the UK, where you play the best of the Islanders and the best of Australia.
I just think there's just that much.
They're
There's
playing
just
in
that much
Super
football.
League.
There's so much football that it's sort of
There's so much you could
impossible.
do with it, but
there
but
is.
you just won't.
But it's so. I think the issue that they're going to have is that the NRL basically bankrolls
Finances.
the NRL bankrolls Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, PNG, Cook Islands, all of those internationals teams to play
And
Pacific
if
Championship
they
and
invest
Pacific
in
Cup.
England, they'll be investing in that as well.
And then they're going to be paying for that as well. But the only issue is that if the NRL are bankrolling all of that, they're not going to want to lessen their product in terms of the actual regular season to play more international football. So it's just about striking a balance. I think we all want international football to be better.
You don't have any PNG players in State of Origin. So PNG is a nation that could play the Cook Islands mid-season for the Cook Islanders that aren't playing. So you could do that. You can also utilise mid-season tests that way and have them as warm-up games to State of Origin.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Like a curtain raiser, yeah.
Like a curtain raiser.
I
or
think
you could
there's
have
definitely...
the women's teams, like New Zealand women's and Australia women's,
See,
or
I
New
think
Zealand women's versus Samoa women's or whatever.
I actually honestly reckon there's more room for growth in the international game in the women's game. Because they play a much shorter season and it starts so much later in the year. So, and the Gillaroos girls are always talking about how the women's State of Origin girls are always talking about, and I think I remember Millie Elliott saying it to me when we were at a 9 event. We hate the fact that we have to go into an Origin series with zero lead in. They have a long camp, but it can't be matched by internationals. Whereas you could send a young Australia A team to go play England in England, and that would benefit the English girls. And to play against
the Gillaroo
NRLW
B-side to play against the England A side.
Because you think about a Gillaroo B side, you're still going to have Abby Church at halfback. You're probably going to have it's still going to be a really, really good side.
It's still a really strong squad,
and it would benefit the
paid.
English girls. And then maybe you can have an Australia-New Zealand international series before Origin or in the lead up to Origin. I think there's definitely more room for it in terms of the women's game. And then so I don't know. It's rugby league's so weird because it's all based around club. Most sports have started from an international standard and then go elsewhere, but it's all built. It's similar to football, but football it's there's a genuine balance.
Still prioritise international.
There's a genuine balance between there's a balance between international and club football, but there's not with rugby league.
Don't get me wrong, everyone hates international breaks in football. Everyone hates it, but we still know that it's important to do. And I don't think rugby league has ever figured out that internationals are important for the growth of the game, in general. It's never really had
No.
that on its forefront.
It's
Like
always
you look
it's
at
always
any
been,
news,
yeah.
any
Look
news
after your own
in
backyard.
England, like BBC, ITV, hardly any of them have reported on this Ashes series, and it's only going to take persistence, time to be able to do that. So hopefully
Yeah.
they do it. And Magic Round dates got announced, so I booked my accommodation because it's not the
Yeah.
bank
How about
holiday, the
Canberra?
public holiday weekend this year for you
What is
guys
it
up
with
in
Canberra
England.
missing out on Magic Round? Like, how do the minor premiers miss out on Magic Round?
Yeah, who
Like,
knows? It was just their turn.
I guess when the Spooners, like, did the Knights play last year? No, the Knights played last year. Like, why
No,
can't the
they've
Spooners?
already missed one. They missed one the year
Ugh.
before though, didn't they?
But it
Or
should
the,
be if you
or
want
the,
to play
the
Magic
first
Round,
one.
don't get
They
the wooden
missed
spoon.
one of them.
Yeah,
Manly
I think it was
missed
the year
last
before
year.
last. Yeah, but I'm like, if you don't want to miss Magic Round, don't get the wooden spoon.
Yeah,
Like, it
that
should be the wooden
actually
spoon.
be an incentive.
Yeah,
It
but
should
then
be
again,
the
like
incentive,
if
actually.
the Titans get the wooden spoon, are you gonna take a Queensland team out of Magic Round?
Yeah, you'd be.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not going to,
Yeah.
are you?
No.
But it's going to be on
yeah.
the 15th to the
I think-
17th, which means
I think I just don't want to watch the Knights play.
I reckon if I was a betting man, because the Magic weekend is currently in talks in England about being shelved potentially or being played, I would put my money on it being potentially being okayed, and it'll be on the same weekend again because that will be towards that. That's around the end of the season, which means that they've probably got St James's Park booked for that date, which is why the NRL have probably liaised with it because it's been the first weekend in May for years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Over here because it's the public holiday in Brisbane. I just thought they tied it in with that.
It's not a public holiday in Brisbane. After Magic Round.
It was last year.
No. Last year it was.
No,
But
the
the
first
public-
last year. That's what I mean. They've always tied it in with that public holiday weekend, May Day.
Well,
I
yeah,
always
it's always
thought
like
they did.
earlier in May though. I don't think it matches up this year.
Well, maybe it's like the Mandela effect. No, it doesn't this year because May Day's always the first.
Yeah, 5th,
Um,
5th of May. It's always the first Monday of May.
First.
So did it? Yeah.
Yeah. The
God,
first.
that's
Monday
just
in
so.
May,
That's
same
so.
in
That's
England.
so long ago. Feels like so long ago.
Mhm.
There's been a lot of football between then.
Yeah, I know. So who knows?
Knights
Anyway,
fans will be
it's been a
happy.
great
Dylan Brown
podcast.
played well.
We've kind. Oh yeah, he's set for a Golden Boot apparently.
Yeah. He played
I don't
well.
know how
Like, he's a
Cam
good
Munster
player.
couldn't get it.
I know we've bagged him, but he's a good player.
Yeah, will he be the grand final winning player?
No.
Bun and
no, he
Spooners
won't.
to grand finalists because of two players.
It's Well, yeah. Difficult to win a comp
one
when you've only
coach.
got two players. Difficult to win a comp when you've got two players on the field.
Innit?
Yeah.
But it's
Just
been another
paying
great
both 6 million.
episode, Sam.
Can I've come across something and I want to finish on
Literally.
this. It's the greatest story of all time.
Go on.
I want to introduce you to Japanese marathon runner Shizo Kanekuri, who in the middle of the 1912 Stockholm Olympics marathon just decided that he didn't want to run anymore. So he stopped running, got on a plane, went home to Japan, and then he's now in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest time to complete a marathon. 54 years, 8 months, 6 days, 5 hours, 32 minutes, and 20 seconds.
Wait, what?
Did you not get
Did
any of
he
that?
fly back 50 odd years?
Yeah, 54
later
years
and
later, he
complete
flew
it?
back. Yep. He flew back 54
From the place
years
that he
later and
ended it?
completed it. I think so, yeah. Like, he
I
just
suppose
decided,
because marathons don't have an expiry until you finish,
yeah.
do they?
He went the long way. He went the
That's
scenic
fair.
route.
Because I remember a guy doing the London Marathon who passed out like 2 kilometres from the end, and he returned like 3 weeks later to finish the last 2Ks, and he got his medal still. Because like the whole point of a marathon was it was Greek, wasn't it? They was running from one town to another. I think it was
Yeah.
somewhere to
Yeah,
Marathon.
it started.
The
Yeah,
town and the city of Marathon say that the war is over, and he collapsed and died. And the gap
there's
between the two cities was 26.2 miles.
there's some great marathon ones. Like there's a guy Fred something who it was in the St. Louis games, and he collapsed during the marathon, and then ended up getting in a car. Then stopped outside the stadium, jogged the last bit, and then won the marathon. And no one knew until like 20 years later. And then there was two
I mean, Jimmy
ladies.
Savile was doing that for years.
I did not think we'd mention Jimmy Savile on this podcast. Wow.
Well, we have been talking about Gary Glitter beforehand.
What?
To give context, that is an Oasis reference.
I was yeah. Yeah, we were just well.
But
Actually,
context is needed.
I'm putting together a segment for tomorrow. Like we do an On This Day segment, and tomorrow on this day was when Gary Glitter was arrested. So
Oh, mate, I remember that on Sky News when he got off the plane.
yeah,
They arrested him at Heathrow.
yeah. So there you go. So we've done a great rugby league podcast, and it's been a great last podcast. We're going to be taken off Spotify. This is lovely to be involved with you.
The guy you cannot mention, we've just mentioned.
Lovely to be involved. Like what? Yeah,
There's
Stalin.
Netflix documentaries.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I can't believe you.
Fine. You didn't say it. Your career's still fine. But yeah,
Who else can we mention?
that's all he did. I
think Oscar Pistorius has got an appeal coming up. I think.
Oh, has he?
Yeah. Who else? There's some Epstein and Trump stuff. Let's just go all in.
Let's go all in.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, yeah,
dear.
he's another one that's dead. You know, it's fine. You can say what you want when they're dead, can't you? That's the rules.
Don't their
You
estate
can't
sue you.
libel the dead. That is
Yeah,
actually a rule. So
Yeah,
you know.
true.
And they were wrong anyway. So that is unanimous.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Anyway, this has been the Rugby League podcast. Ashes Roundup special with a sprinklage of Pacific Championships. We've covered a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's been great. Great final episode.
Yeah, from Leeds to Stockholm to whatever prison that anyone's been in.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't mention Rolf Harris. I mean, we're in Australia. Why not?
Oh, he's dead too.
Did he die yet?
Yeah, he's dead. Because I remember
That's good.
my presenter that I was working with at the time, on the day after he died, brought in a Rolf Harris CD that he'd been holding on to so that he could smash it with a hammer on air. He's like, I've been waiting for the day Rolf Harris died so I could smash this CD.
Live on air.
Yep.
Oh well. The wobble board is forever tarnished.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't.
I know. You just can't play the wobble board now. It used to
No.
make a great sound.
No, did it?
Well, I mean, it was a unique sound, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, he was a unique man.
I mean, who didn't know that when he's got a song called Two Little Boys and Two Little...
Okay, John.
Right, end of podcast. Before we get cancelled. Bye! This has been the Rugby League podcast.